Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this morning, every Sprint customer got an email with a very strong message from T-Mobile. And this answered a question that a lot of Sprint customers had for a very long time. And that question was, what is going to happen with my Sprint plan once this merger closes? And the clear answer from T-Mobile was nothing. Your current deal stays the same as you continue to manage your account and your wireless needs on your My Sprint app and Sprint.com and in Sprint stores when they are able to reopen. They got it covered, and rest assured, the new T-Mobile, we are committed to continuing to fight for customers and bringing the best service and value in the industry. Now, this is a big relief to a lot of people. A lot of people thought that they would have to switch immediately over to T-Mobile rate plans. Not necessarily that those rate plans were that much more expensive, but the Sprint customer would lose an immense amount of value. They would lose Amazon, Uber credits, Hulu, Tidal, and lots of other features. And in some cases, the plan that the Sprint customer had was just a lot cheaper. Kickstarter plan. Some got a free for a year plan. Some may still be on a 50% off plan. So now the clear answer is nothing changes for now. It could change in the future, but short term, midterm, I don't think anything changes. I do see T-Mobile sticking to the 3-year price lock for everybody. At least 3 years. I think the Sprint customer is going to remain on that plan. Although T-Mobile is going to eventually do a billing system integration, at that point, will the Sprint customer get put onto a T-Mobile rate plan? That remains to be seen. But for now, they are sending out a very strong message saying that the Sprint customer will be able to keep the plan as is for now. Now, they are moving very quickly in terms of network. In fact, they've already deployed the enhanced network in Philadelphia, with New York and even more cities coming soon. So I've been talking to a few people in terms of how does T-Mobile handle this in terms of priority wise. And I think, in my opinion, so T-Mobile has roughly on their modeling, I would say about 120 to 130 cities that are the top cities. And then there's, of course, a certain tier. So there's a top 25, then there's a top 50, a top 100. And I think right now they will work between the top 25 and top 50 gradually and quickly. So, of course, that's, Philadelphia, New York. I'm sure Los Angeles is in there. Chicago, of course. Chicago has a very big presence for Sprint as well. So that combination, of course, is going to put a strain on the network. So T-Mobile has to get going very quickly in the Chicago market. El Paso, they got huge market share here. I'm tracking every day now to see if there's new radios being installed as upgrades are happening now to band 71. Not noticing anything just yet. I just don't know how high on the priority scale El Paso really is. El Paso is not a high-end flashy city like a New York or Los Angeles, but with Sprint and T-Mobile combined, they would have roughly 50% of the market share. So although it may not be a flashy city, they are going to have lots and lots of customers here on the network. So it would be a very good idea, in my opinion, to get going, make this market a priority, and invest even more than before to keep the customers happy. And that's one thing that should be T-Mobile's main priority. As they integrate the companies and the customers, they should try to offer the best top-notch experience, in my opinion, on the network, to not even make the Sprint customer think about going anywhere else. Prepaid, AT&T, Verizon, make them feel like they want to stay with T-Mobile, make the network great, make it a better experience. And that's one thing that I was trying to say on that video that I made about the Boost Mobile customer. I didn't necessarily mean that all of the phones from Boost aren't compatible with the T-Mobile network. A lot of them are. Even if it's just band 2 or band 4 that's available on that device, it is capable on the network. But you're being moved to a network that has demand and that has actual large amounts of users in quite a bit of areas. So you're going from an unloaded network, perhaps that was pushing out 60 megahertz of band 41, El Paso included, Sprint not necessarily big in this market, roughly about, I would say about between 6 to 8% market share. So it's an unloaded network. Now you're going onto a network that has good amount of customers. So in order to get the best efficiency out of the network, you want to have an up-to-date device to squeeze out the best performance you possibly can out of that network. If you're on a cell site and you have a phone that's only capable of, let's say, band 2, band 4, and you're missing maybe band 71, some 4x4 MIMO, 256 QAM, your experience may be degraded. You may not have the same experience on the T-Mobile network that you did on the Sprint network. Lots of customers have been reaching out to me already. Hey, look, in this area, Sprint works great. I've tried every other carrier. They're not up to par. That could be the case. That's how big the US is. Sprint, if we're going by scientific, crowdsourced, Sprint on a large scale, their network is not up to par compared to the competition. But ever since they've added all of their spectrum assets in band 41, largely across the US, they've been getting faster and faster and faster and faster, because even though they may have less sites, with all the spectrum and the less customers in a lot of these markets, even if you're on the edge of the cell sites, I've seen it, I've tested it, stuck on one bar, maybe two, I've seen Sprint still hit 80, 90, 100 Mbps per second at the edge of the cell sites because they have such a large swath of spectrum and not many users on it. So that could be a different experience for you as a now on the T-Mobile network under Dish, because of the fact that there are actual users on that T-Mobile network. So now your area may not be as fast as Sprint was in that same area before. So just be on the lookout for that and kind of be aware. That's why I wanted to give everybody a heads up with that video, to make you aware that, look, your phone may be compatible, but you may not have the same exact experience just yet on the T-Mobile network until they can get both networks integrated. So again, just wanted to tell you guys, very clear message from T-Mobile. They have said it during the trial phases in court that they would abide by those statements. Now, again, they clarified that. They sent the Sprint customer an email. The reason I made this video as well, some of you may have not seen it. I know a lot of people that don't really check their emails on the daily. So I just wanted to push this out for you guys. And again, you could pause the video, read it for yourself. And if not, you can, of course, check your email. It should be in your inbox. But this is a good thing that T-Mobile is sticking to some of the things that they have said and promised. Will they do it all? We don't know. I don't know. I can't tell the future. After 3 years, we're going to see how this looks. But I could tell you guys one thing. Although they promised this and they promised that network integration and where they want to have the network and where some of the commitments are taking them is very costly. It's going to be very expensive. So a part of the California Public Utilities Commission, they have given to T-Mobile some very, I want to say tough tasks to handle. Now, T-Mobile could potentially go back to court, I guess, and try to see if they can undo them. But the reason I didn't cover it, because T-Mobile already closed the merger on April 1st. So the approval of the Public Utilities Commission, it didn't mean much. The merger's already done. It closed. But trying to cover, I want to say, if I remember, 97% of the population of California with 300 megabits per second in 3 years, that's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough for T-Mobile to do. And I want to see them accomplish that, of course, because that's going to make it a better overall experience for the consumer across the board, everywhere, not just in San Diego, LA, but everywhere else in California. But that's going to be very, very tough to do. In fact, T-Mobile may have to go to the board of California and some of the cities, municipals, and ask for a change on some of the restrictions that they've had on building sites, and ask some of the counties to drop those restrictions that way they can build as many sites as they would like to achieve the goal that the Public Utilities Commission set out for them. That's just my opinion. I think they're going to need that pretty much anywhere else. But then, of course, AT&T and Verizon are going to step in and say, hey, look, you can't play favoritism here. If they're going to be able to place a cell site wherever they like, or they get a shorter time frame or whatever, then we want the same. So it's going to be better for everybody across the board, especially as AT&T and Verizon continue to invest in their networks. Their networks are going to get better. T-Mobile right now, in my opinion, right now, at least if they work quickly, next 3 to 6 years, they could potentially have the best network and be network kings. They have an abundance amount of spectrum right now in the mid band with that 2.5. Low band, they're solid. And then, of course, they have their own mid band, and then they have millimeter wave that they purchase as well. Of course, they're not going to have as much millimeter wave as Verizon. Verizon bought a whole bunch. But the spectrum right now that many say is the sweet spot for a 5G connection that can travel, that holds some weight indoors, actually, where you can sit inside of a restaurant, still be connected to 5G. Although that can be achieved in certain cases with millimeter wave, but you have to be very close to the 5G node for that to penetrate into that building or window or wherever you're located. But it's a lot easier and more achievable with 2.5 to actually add some range, produce coverage with that 2.5. So T-Mobile, in my opinion, short-term, mid-term, is very well positioned. Is AT&T in trouble? I made a video about that. You guys can check it out. I don't know. Analysts have said it for a while. Some of the tech blogs, the opinionated people have said that AT&T may be in trouble as well. But it remains to be seen. We're going to find out. It's going to ramp up. Right now, of course, the economy is still shaken, still shut down. They plan to reopen it slowly. T-Mobile wants to do the integrated marketing around July. So we're going to see what they have to offer. Additionally, also keep in mind, just wanted to throw that in at the end of the video. If you guys don't remember, on the very last earnings call, T-Mobile did announce that they are planning another Un-carrier move that they have yet to announce. So that's also still coming. I don't know what to make of that one. They've already pretty much exhausted all that, I think. So if they come up with something new, that's going to surprise me. I hope it's something with the down payments, maybe another jump on demand 2.0. Who knows? They can take this multiple ways. Mike Sieverts said it in an interview in the past, early on when T-Mobile got started with their network rollout, expanding, converting LTE. It was the choice of the consumer was either you go to a network that has the best network, the better network, and you don't get any value, you get a high price, or you come to the Un-carrier, you get value, but not necessarily the best network at that point in time. And now T-Mobile wants to offer the sweet spot between both. They want to give you the network, top-notch network quality and a balanced value. And that, in my opinion, is going to put T-Mobile in a very strong position. AT&T right now, I think they're in a similar position. They can offer the same, but structural-wise, business-wise, I think they have done a very poor job on delivering their TV, their home broadband, and their wireless, in my opinion. There's still much more than AT&T can do. And remember, I told you guys there are some changes coming, so stay tuned for that. Verizon, they're scrambling. They're scrambling for partnerships. Hey, Apple Music. Hey, Disney. Can we do it for a year? They have nothing permanent. Their value proposition, in my opinion, not that great. They do have the strong suit in the network. That is their biggest, in my opinion, attribute right now is their network still. They have the largest. But over time right now, next 3 years, that gap is going to be minimal. They're not going to be able to remain and claim that large network lead that they've had, let's say 5 years ago. AT&T's closing that gap, and T-Mobile and Neville Ray, they're going to be up day and night closing that gap as well and catching up. So Verizon, I think their 2.0 is working, but I think they need something else to keep them afloat. Millimeter wave will work, very costly. Their price point is very high as well. So once T-Mobile gets really going with their new marketing, supercharged marketing, as they say, if they really want to, they can do so much damage in the industry. If they go with the whole, yeah, we're a business, we need to make money now, with John gone and Mike Sievert, the CEO now, then that could completely fail, in my opinion. If they keep that Un-carrier initiative alive and they push that, I think they're going to be very well positioned and a very dangerous company to be on the lookout for, not only for the wireless side, but TV as well. They have T-Vision, don't forget that. I'll probably make another video on that to see how they proceed with that. It's kind of been forgotten, but now that they have the merger and the spectrum and that additional millimeter wave, I think they can make that home broadband with the TV and the wireless work triple play. I know they said they don't want to offer the traditional bundle, but in a way they are going to do some sort of bundling. We don't know the exact details yet, but they are going to do something along a triple play, in my opinion. But I do think it's going to be marketed better. It's going to be a better offering compared to something that we've seen on AT&T and Verizon with Fios. They're getting better. They're making adjustments, but they don't have it on a larger scale. They're only based out of pretty much the East Coast from what I was being told, and they haven't expanded much beyond that footprint. So with this broadband internet that T-Mobile can deliver into homes with the additional spectrum and the capacity that they have on the network, they could potentially bring this nationwide. So this is a big deal. There's a lot of upside on T-Mobile, and I'm sure they're going to discuss this in the upcoming earnings call. AT&T's is on April 22nd. I haven't heard from the other carriers when theirs are, but the upside that T-Mobile has is huge, in my opinion. That's why I wanted to make this video, hear from you guys. The upside is just insane that T-Mobile is going to present. The shareholders are in agreement. Everybody's aligned. The funding is going to increase. It's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a very, very, very fun time to see T-Mobile evolve and elope and really become a monster competitor in this industry, not only for the consumer, but now we're talking small business, big business, first responder, whatever whatever you can name it. They want to compete in it, and they haven't been able to do that in the past as T-Mobile on a larger scale, and they are now going to be able to achieve that as the new T-Mobile. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. This was a longer video. I just wanted to make this really quickly. Just had a few things on my mind, and then I wanted to share this email with you guys. This is a very clear message. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content. If you've heard this over again, you can now end this video. But if you are new, make sure to follow my Twitter if you have one. YouTube is dropping the ball on pushing out the notifications. I'm not the only one that says that. Others have said it. I've been getting emails of 2-3 days of a delay until they get the video. So make sure to follow my Twitter. I will put the video on Twitter as well the minute it becomes available. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.